On behalf of the entire members of the House Committee on Defense, Army, Navy, and Air Force, I welcome you to this interactive session. The committees are particularly delighted that the executive has remained committed to ensuring that the armed forces of Nigeria are strengthened and equipped to deal with contemporary challenges our dear country faces. It is therefore my hope that this visit and interaction will further help the defense sector to improve its combat readiness and capability to address the growing security challenges in the country. This visit comes at a very challenging time in the life of our country. The myriad of security challenges plaguing the country have heightened the despair, pain, hardship experienced by our people. Nobody is safe anymore. As representatives of the people, we are always at the receiving end of the effects of insecurity on our people. Hence, our determination to continually promote good governance through the safety of lives and property, and in an accountable and transparent manner. Indeed, with the very many security challenges facing Nigeria today, all stakeholders have a duty to do everything possible to contribute ideas and actions that will lead to solutions needed to secure the lives and properties of Nigerians as encapsulated in Section 14, 2B of our Constitution, which states that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. This is one duty we owe Nigerians, and we are hopeful that through the mutually beneficial interaction we will have today, Nigeria will be a better country for all of us. Pertinent to mention that the House of Representatives is deeply concerned about reforms in the defense sector. We believe that it is clearly one of the ways to improve the security architecture of the country. It is in this light that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, set up a committee to organize a National Security Summit with a view to conducting a holistic legislative review of the national security policy, provide an avenue for robust conversation amongst critical stakeholders in the national security space, and make recommendations that will inform both executive and legislative reforms. It is also interesting to note that the recommendations you submitted here also mirrors the recommendation that the Security Summit also submitted. The recommendations have since been commissioned and processed to the executive for necessary action. Furthermore, the House Committee on Defense has successfully sponsored and ensured the Armed Forces Support Fund in collaboration with Chairman Army, Chairman Air Force, Chairman Navy, and my deputy. The Armed Forces Support Trust Fund was intended to provide additional funding for the armed forces. This bill has since been transmitted to the Senate for concurrence and passage before the presidential assent. In addition to this, innovative measures already taken by the House are several other legislative interventions, all geared towards ensuring the safety of lives and property in Nigeria. The Ninth House of Representatives is concerned about the certain issues that tend to affect the operations of the armed forces of Nigeria. These are the weak civil-military relations and the negative perception by the public. This is evident in the controversy surrounding the NSAS protest of October 2020 and the role of the military. This House believes that an effective civil-military relationship is vital for success in protecting lives and promoting national interest as well as harmony in the society. Similarly, the House is worried about the alleged human rights abuses both within and outside the armed forces. Human rights are universal rights, and indeed some of the greatest inventions of our civilization. Their respect, protection, and promotion remain a cardinal duty of every government, even during the fight against terrorism. While striving valiantly in the Herculean task of protecting lives and property as enshrined in the Constitution, the armed forces of Nigeria equally have the responsibility to ensure that the rights of citizens are not abused or trampled upon. This explains the intricate and multifaceted relationship between human rights and the fight against terrorism. Accordingly, these rights must not be violated even by law enforcement agents or their agents, as their violation or threat is a matter of serious concern both nationally and globally. It is in view of this that the House is currently amending the Armed Forces Act, among other things, to establish the Armed Forces Human Rights Unit to ensure that the protection of rights of civilians, while also ensuring the reprimand of members of the armed forces who violate these rights. Let me mention here that the House of Representatives is willing to work with your committee to ensure the implementation of the approved recommendations of the Presidential Defense Reforms Committee to review Nigeria's defense architecture. Consequently, we shall expect more robust cooperation between the relevant committees of the House and your team as you all work towards ensuring that our defense sector is capable of facing the current security challenges. This is what we owe Nigerians. I therefore urge all members of the relevant committees here to robustly engage with members of this implementation advisory committee. I thank you for this visit and look forward to more productive relationship with you in the future. Thank you.